Hello, everybody. In this session, we are talking about a pawn shop. Pawn shop company that lends money at high interest rates in exchange for collateral such as jewelry, electronics, or anything else with resale value. The collateral is kept by the pawn shop, and if the loan is repaid, the item is returned. If the money is not repaid, the item is sold and the proceeds are kept by the pawn shop. Pawn shops typically lend money to people with lower incomes who do not have access to other forms of credit, such as credit cards or a bank credit line. And then, how pawn shops make money? Many pawn shops make the bulk of their money by collecting interest and fees on secured loans. These shops also make money reselling items that they buy or repossess. If you default on your loan, and some provide other services such as cell phone activations and money transfers. And then how to prepare your item for pawn. The first, clean your item. Your first step should be to clean and perhaps repair your item. If you can do this at home, you can save some money. But if the item is fragile or requires special cleaning, you might consider a professional service. And then second, be prepared to prove your claims. Pawn shops want to make money, which means buying low and selling high. To avoid being lowballed, you can research your item's values ahead of time. For instance, you might take jewelry, coins, and other valuables for an appraisal. You can also look at current market trends for similar items in use condition. And then third, negotiate on price. Armed with your research on the value of your item, you may be able to negotiate for a higher price than the broker offers. But you can back up your claims, such as with proof or your research or a professional appraisal. And then fourth, brace for red tape. Pawnbrokers are legally obligated to make sure that you own the item to avoid buying stolen goods. As such, you might try to provide receipts or other proof of your ownership. If you don't have a receipt, that's okay, but you may ask questions to confirm legitimacy. You will also need to provide a government ID to legally pawn your item. And then, what are the elements of a loan? If someone decides to pawn an item at a pawn shop, there are several important elements of the loan agreement that have to take place. They include the first, there has to be a specific loan amount specified in a written contract. The agreement has to clearly state the amount of money someone is taking out from the pawn shop. The loan is generally based on the value of the collateral that someone brings to the pawn shop. And then second, there has to be a repayment term attached to the loan. How long does someone have to pay back the loan? Typically, it is a few weeks or a few months. And then third, there is generally an interest rate attached to the loan as well. It is typically a monthly interest rate, and it is generally a reflection of the value of the collateral and the risk the pawn shop believes it is taking on. And then fourth, finally, there is an implication of default if the person does not repay the loan on time. Then the pawn shop gets to keep and sell the item. And then we move to the benefits and risks. One significant benefit of using pawn shops is the speed and simplicity in the transactions. You can walk into a pawn shop with your item and walk out with cash in hand within minutes. This immediate access to funds is particularly beneficial in emergencies. However, the primary risk lies in the high interest rates and the potential loss of your valuable item if you cannot repay the loan. Understanding the terms and conditions fully is essential and ensures you can meet the repayment schedule before pawning your belongings. Pawn shops in Indonesia especially offer practical solutions for quick cash needs, especially for those who may not have access to other forms of credit. By understanding the process and evaluating the risks and benefits, you can decide whether this option is right for you. And then we move to the types of collateral accepted. Pawn shops in Indonesia especially accept many items as collateral provided they hold significant resale value. There's a list of commonly accepted items. The first, jewelry. Items made of precious metals and stones, including gold, silver, and diamonds, are highly favored due to their intrinsic value and market demand. And then second, luxury cars. Some high-value pawn shops also accept cars as collateral. And then third, luxury watches. High-end watches from brands like Rolex and Omega are very popular. And then fourth, musical instruments. High-quality instruments like guitars and violins. And fifth, branded goods. Luxury handbags, wallets, and accessories from brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Gucci. And then finally, we move to the criteria for acceptance. The primary criterion for an item to be accepted as collateral is its resale potential. Pawnbrokers ask assess items based on their market value, conditions, and demand. For example, a price of jewelry will be evaluated for its metal purity, gemstone quality, and overall craftsmanship. I think it is enough for this session. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this channel with your like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.